Welcome guys, today is going to be the day I upload my first YouTube video, and today's topic I'm going to discuss about myself and basically why I'm not going to go to university. Now, I think my strategy for uploading YouTube channels is basically just going to be like talking to my friend, because I think this is the best way to explain things. So my journey started by getting on self-improvement around 16, 17, and when I turned 18 I hit it. I went on it properly, and what I noticed is that I was going to the library often, I was studying often, and I felt very unfulfilled with the work that I was doing. I was able to sit down and discipline myself for around 8 hours a day to just purely studies, and then work out and meditate and have skincare routines and everything all in between, and that would make me happy. But after a while, it just really didn't fulfill me. I think it wasn't the fact that I was sitting down for too long, but it was more the fact the work I was doing just wasn't fulfilling. And, over the last, I think, 12 months, I've reduced, porn, video games, social media, YouTube use, Instagram, Snapchat, watching Netflix and things like that. Those things are relatively been reduced in my life if I compare it to the year before. That is the truth. That's the authentic truth. And I feel like with uni, it's not that it's not a journey worth going on, but it's just a journey not for me, and it might not be for you either, And one thing I would like to talk to you about is the double inflation in universities. If you look at most degrees, especially in the UK, you're paying around £9,250 a year. Not your money. Someone else's money, which you have to pay back through inflation, okay? And one thing I want you to look at is there's more degrees than there have ever been before. Every single year, there are more degrees that are invented. There are more spaces that open. So these universities, you're on a course for 3 years, and there's more degrees. So when you get into the real world, into the workplace, after you graduate, and you have a job, you're fighting among other people, and there's more competition for these degrees because there's more degrees. Yet there's also a higher cost. Yet you have to pay more and more every couple of years. They bump up the price. And the way I look at university now is kind of like a car dealership. It's like, which car dealership, which vehicle do you want to be driving? University is a very safe vehicle. It's a very average car. Not that risky. It's average. And you're going to be going at a medium pace. Whereas I look at entrepreneurship, and it's like the possibilities are endless with the cars. It's not just a car dealership. You could go to the fucking moon. For me at least, the way I look at it, it's just more like of an expensive car dealership, like an Aston Martin, or like a Porsche, or like a Lamborghini, or whatever you like. Those things are actually attainable. I was calculating how much Andrew Tate's Bugatti is, and it's 5 million, and I was like, okay, if I earn 100k a year, how long would it take me? And it's like 50 years if I just saved my salary just for me to afford a Lamborghini, and by the time I can afford it, the price has gone up. But there are people in this life who are young and they have these things, and it's like, how on earth do they have them when the conventional way of earning money doesn't let you? And another thing I like to say as well is you could spend the same money, the same exact money on uni, the 30k, whereas if you could spend that money and invest it on online courses like Hustlers University, maybe like Hamza's Adonis School, or maybe like Andrew Kirby's Synthesizer School, things like that. There's also like Alex Hormozi, acquisitions.com, he has a couple courses on there. And I'm telling you, if you just give yourself 3-4 years to become successful, whichever version of success is, you will become it more better than uni. And there's another thing of like the opportunity cost. And if you don't know what opportunity cost is, let's say you go and do a degree, and it's set. After you come out, it's not like I could get a 200k salary. No. It's like 30k minimum, right? Starting, and then you work your way up. Whereas with entrepreneurship, you could go anywhere. You could go up, Because the thing is, if you work for money, if you exchange time for money, if you work a McDonald's job, the salary is always capped because there's only a certain amount of hours you work. If you work for 10 hours if you work an hour and it's £10, then obviously you're capped. It's going to be incredibly hard for you to make money. Whereas with the internet, you have 4.8 billion people who are active on here, and you can just get an audience who are like you, who are similar to you, who are authentic to you, and they just come to like you, and you can make more money. You could record a video, have it been viewed 10,000 times in 10,000 different rooms across the globe, rather than a one-on-one conversation with someone that's for £10 an hour. You know, it kind of makes you think, and these are things I didn't know. And another thing I'd say is, don't go to university if you don't have a plan. You know, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a physician, or, you know, an engineer or something along the lines of this, if that's really your passion, if that's really what you want to do, and you know that, then go. You know, I'm not going to tell you not to go. But if you don't have a plan, if you're going to go to some mid-tier uni just so you can fuck some slags on some corner in some dirty nightclub, right, and have 3 years of just being a kid, which is really realistically what uni is, it's just an extra 3 years to just act like a kid again, you know, instead of being in the real world and getting a job, then also suffering with that, you know, yeah, then don't go. Because look at the cars outside each university campus. Look at the people who are teaching you, and you're going to think to yourself, you're going to say, I don't want any of these cars. Yet these are the people that are feeding your brain knowledge. So you're going to become more like them. You're not really going to do that, you know. And I think being a synthesizer, which is what I told you with the fact that 10,000 people could watch one of your videos. Synthesizing is a very simple principle. If you look at guys like First Man or Hamza or Iman Gadzhi or Alex Becker, for example, maybe, or, you know, these guys along the lines of these, or even Andrew Kirby, these guys are synthesizers. What they do is they learn things, you know, for example, self-improvement, going to the gym, then they become experts on it, they become really good at it, they get really good at coming to the gym, they get really good at like dopamine detoxes, and then they teach it to you, and that's how they earn money. They actually learn what they want. If you want to learn how to fucking ski, you could learn that, become an expert on it, and then teach it, and that just sounds more fun because the possibilities are endless. And I think true knowledge is not learned in a college room. True knowledge is learned from experience and from different sorts of books and just life experience, honestly. You know, I don't think university nowadays teaches you to be a man. And more so, guys, focus on the process, not the outcome. And what I mean by that is a lot of people get motivated by like, oh, I wanna, you know, earn that like 40k a year I can get from this university if I go there because the average salary is 40k a year. You're focusing on the outcome and not the process, because the process is more important. The process is what you're gonna do 99% of the time. The paycheck comes in 3 years later down the line. The process is the most important part. And if you don't enjoy the process, and if it's not good for you, then what's the point? You're gonna live your life for what? For like 30k a year, but you're working 250 days a week, and not days a week, days a year. You know, it's not worth it. Yeah, you know, and another thing I looked at was like, there was people online talking, and they sort of say this thing. It was like, you know, in the beginning, school is like the prison. School is like, I'm stuck in school, you know, I have to stay here 9 to 3, fuck the teachers, man, fuck all this. And they're like, oh, you know, when I get out, that's when I'm going to be free. And it doesn't happen, guys. It does not happen. You're not free. It's just even worse. Because instead of you coming to school late and the teacher being like, damn, Johnny, you got to come to school on time, you just get kicked out and fired. And nobody cares. Because you're responsible now. And that's what I've seen, you know, being an adult. It's like, this is the real world. This is the real world. And yeah. Look at school. You know, 9 to 3, 6 hours every day, 5 days a week. Then you go into college, probably more, especially sixth form, A levels, or whatever you're doing. It's more time, realistically. You're spending a lot of time studying if you're doing it right. And then after that, you go to uni, and it's like you can end up studying 10 hours a day if you go Cambridge, for example. I've seen the people there. And then after that, you get into a job, and it's just a 9 to 5, 5 days a week, again and again and again and again. You're working for somebody else. You're not doing the things you want to do. Yeah, you're getting money, but they literally make the money out of thin air. Literally, they make the money out of thin air. So it's like, what are you really working for? You're just working for other people. You're not really doing something you love. And I kind of looked at this whole cycle, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather be in Thailand earning $20 a day, being some personal fitness trainer, sipping pina coladas, rather than working like a 500k job for like JP Morgan. You know? I'd rather earn 50k a year working for myself rather than 500k a year working for somebody else. These are the real entrepreneurs, and the reason why they say that is because freedom is what a man truly wants. Freedom. Financial freedom. You know? The freedom to sleep with any woman you want. That might come through a physique. That is what, people look at. And I just want you to question the £9,250 you might have to pay for a university degree per year, and question, where's that money going to? Because you don't even touch that money. You're just expected to pay it back. You never touch it. It just goes straight to the uni. They keep your money, right? And then you pay it back every year. And you're in debt. And it's 9% interest. So you could... Another thing you should also think about is, why does every degree cost the same from every different single university? They pretty much all cost 9k. You can go to a university ranked 140th versus a university ranked first, and the degree is the same money. And it's like, how does that even make sense? Because if I go to a top 1 university and invest my money in that, I'm looking at like a 50k average salary off, graduating. Sometimes, in like 10 years, I could be earning like 120k a year, easy. Whereas with the other one, it's like, I'm going to be earning 20k. If you go to like the 150, I'm going to be earning like 20k a year. And even no matter how long I work for, it's like, it's basically going to be under 30. It's going to be terrible. Yet they're the same price. That's interesting, boys. And most likely, you're not going to probably go to the top 1% ones, okay? You're going to go to an average tier uni. It's just not worth it, guys. I looked at the system, and I looked at, what it all is, and it just feels shitty. It just doesn't feel worth it. And I just think it's just not for me. I was in education. I fulfilled my purposes in 2 things. Recently, from 0 to 16, it was very much just being a kid, not knowing about life, very undisciplined as well. My dad did die at the age of 10, so off of that, it's like, porn, Instagram, YouTube, video games, all that shit, just building those habits for years and years and years. 16 is when the ball started to slow down for once, and I had to kill a lot apart myself. Jordan Peterson has this quote, and it's like, most people are 95% dead wood, which means that when they learn the truth, they don't like it, because a lot of them has to go along with it, Like, for example, I used to think, I needed to be online. I needed to have 3 hours of YouTube entertainment, like watching the Sidemen. I need to have that a day because, it's for rest and everything. I used to cope. It's like, why do you think that? Why do you even think you need a life on social media? You don't. You don't fucking need it. You got the real world right here. And it's sad. It's honestly sad, guys. And I don't know how this relates to university, but it does, because if it doesn't scare the shit out of you, of waking up, snoozing your alarm 3 times, getting up out of bed, being tired, getting in your car, going straight to work, stuck in traffic, arriving at work, working for, like a purposeless, boring job, 8 hours, then coming home, watching Netflix, being alone, being lonely, not having a woman by your side, earning shit money, not having anything in your life improve, and then going to sleep and then repeating it every single day for 250 days a year for the rest of your life. If that doesn't scare the fuck out of you, it should. And that's what I see. And even if you win, guys, even if you go to the top unis, Cambridge and everything, Oxford. It's like some of my teachers have, and some of my friends are going to. What are you earning? You're earning 100k, right? 100k is supposed to be a good salary. Like, yeah, you're a top earner, guys. If a billionaire is a 10 out of 10, if 1 billion is 10 out of 10, and then maybe 9 out of 10 is what you call hundreds of millions, and then 8 out of 10 is what you call tens of millions, and then 7 out of 10 is just a couple millions, and 6 out of 10 is around hundreds of thousands, then 100k a year is a 6 for me. If you're gonna like look at the scale like that, because if 10 is the most richest guy in the world, then a 6 is 100k a year, guys. It's not all that. Especially when you're young, be more ambitious, you know. And I was like, I don't want to be a 6. So even if I win in this matrix cycle, I'm like, I'm a 6. Yeah, can I get a good physique and everything, but like, I'm a 6. And I'm working 250 days a year. Okay, so even the money I get, I can't spend it. I can only go on holiday in the summer. So, you know, these places I want to go and see, I'm going to go there, it's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to cost 4k. Whereas if I go off season, during the times where everyone's at work, you know, going to the airport and having no one in your airplane, and the airport, and it's cool, it's like in October, you know, everyone's, you know, people have responsibilities, they have kids, you know, they have jobs and everything. They're like, you know, they can't go, and you're there out there. It's fun as fuck. That's for me, that's freedom. That's exciting, guys. And that's what I want. And that's what I want for me, and that's what I want for you. And throughout this channel, even though it's early, I'm going to be documenting my journey intensely. Because I'm not looking at this channel and thinking, I want to get 100k subscribers in 6... No, I'm not looking at it like that. I'm going to focus on the process of just building good videos, getting better with video creating, getting better at speaking. Clearly, I'm not the best at speaking right now. But I'm going to be focused on building a good physique, on getting my face better, on getting on Hustlers University or the real world, and learning skills. I don't care, Andrew Tate this, shut up, I don't give a fuck. He's teaching real world skills. I'm going to learn. And just focus on learning, focus on my physique, focus on my face care routines, focus on my mental health and meditation and staying off social media and being on monk mode, not focusing on women at this young age, at this rough young age, not chasing like that. You know, if a woman comes across you and, you know, you can get some 2 hours, 3 hours of fun, or 10 minutes for a couple of you guys, then go ahead and do it. I'm not going to say nothing, but not chasing women, not being in a relationship super young, that's good advice. It's the best thing, and that's what I want to do. And I look at uni and I look at this whole, you know, party drug life that's also there, very apparent. It really is. Going to parties and going to the club and getting drunk off like questionable liquor that's like crazily cheap, you know, and banging some 5 who's a whore and whatever, and being in a relationship, just like, you know, it's underwhelming for me. There's some men alive today on this planet, and they have a fire inside them, and it just cannot be fulfilled with modern day life. It can't be fulfilled with just getting a mortgage and taking the missus out on a cheeky Nando's every now and then and getting a couple of blowjobs a month. I don't want that. And I don't think you want that either. That is a very unfulfilling life for me. I want to take this the best possible way it can be. My ambition is limitless, but I also have to be prepared to suffer for the next 10 to 12 years because I'm 18 today. But I'm not going to be 18 forever. One day I'll be a 30-year-old man, and I'm thinking about him. Who am I building there? You know, who is that person? Who am I building? I'm influencing his creation right now. Who am I building there? How do I get him to be in the best position possible? Because an 18-year-old woman has like the keys to a Ferrari at this age, whereas an 18-year-old man is the lowest value you're going to be in life. You don't know anything. That's just true. So, my next stage, guys, is my exams are finishing tomorrow. I'm going to invest some money into the gym, into Hustlers University or the real world, and into my mental health. So I think journaling, meditating, and exercising every day is good. And also my testosterone, getting that, making sure that's really high. And I'm going to be doing that over the next 12 years. 100%. Those are 3 things I don't think are going to change. I might not know as much as future me, but these videos are going to help build him, and that's my intention here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please have a lovely and splendid day. Take care.